Hey guys, welcome to Back to Class with Mr.H. Only today the desks are yoga mats and the homework is breathing.
Big exhale. One more. And exhale, we're gonna bring the hands all the way back down. You got it. We'll step it back.
I'm here with Nicole Johnson, a teacher who proves you can build a whole community with nothing but patience, presence, and a room heated to why am I sweating already? Nicole just didn't dive into yoga, she opened many doors. For busy parents, first timers, for people like me who thought downward dog was a command for my golden retriever. In this episode, she slows the world down long enough for us to hear something we forget in the noise. You're allowed to take your time. So roll your shoulders, quiet that to-do list, and come meet the heart behind the practice. This is Back to Class with Mr. H, where class may end, but the learning and apparently the stretching never does. Nicole, you're a yoga instructor. Tell us what your life's like as a yoga instructor.
Yeah, so I'm still doing this part-time right now, but I teach in Manhattan, where I live. I live in Brooklyn, as well as out east on the island throughout the summer. So I'm teaching morning, evening classes throughout the week. I usually teach anywhere from 3 to 7 classes a week before, after my 9 to 5.
So what's your 9 to 5?
I work in data and partnerships for an ad tech company.
Do you like that?
It's okay.
It's a job.
It's a job,
This is your
correct.
passion.
Correct.
Would
This
you
is
like
my
to
passion.
make this?
Yes, my goal in the next few years is to do yoga full time. My goal is to open my own studio.
Okay, that's awesome.
And yeah, have a lot of ideas and passions there. So, but you know, you got to pay the bills. So.
Yeah. So what's the road that led you here to where you are now?
Yeah, so I actually got into yoga because, as you know, I was an athlete in high school and in college. So I played volleyball in college. I played basketball for Mr. Hanlon many years ago. And during training for volleyball in college, I had a coach force me to bench press too much, and the bar fell on me. And I tore my right shoulder, which I was a right-handed hitter, so I could not great. Long story short, MRI bled out. Didn't know what was wrong with me, and I was trying to rehab. Nothing was helping. I found yoga, and it was the one thing that started to help me physically. And then as I got more serious about it, I realized that the mental aspects actually surpassed anything physically that it was helping me do, and it really changed my life. So I became obsessed with it, kind of dove in head first.
That's powerful,
And
yeah.
now I love it.
I was just going to ask you a question you sort of answered already. Have you ever used yoga as a tool for healing?
Definitely. Definitely. I mean,
physically and mentally?
Physically and mentally for sure. I mean, physically healing right when I had my injury, but mentally, early 20s, I think, I would say 23 was the hardest, darkest year of my life, and I really leaned into yoga there. And I think just giving yourself an opportunity and an outlet to find stillness and to find something that helps you physically and mentally, especially after the transition of high school and or college, really finding yourself, really figuring out what you're doing in life. I think everyone needs an outlet or a tool, and this was really that for me.
And I've been friends with you on Facebook forever. You spent quite a bit of time in Germany. What was that like?
Yeah, I got my master's in Germany in business intelligence and analytics, so very much not to do with yoga. But I was.
You never know the path.
You never know. That's very true. It's never linear. I will say that. But yeah, my goal really was to move to Europe, to live in another culture and immerse myself in another culture where they don't necessarily speak English, although Berlin is a very English-speaking city. But yeah, I wanted to challenge myself in that way and really see what it's like to live in another place. So I did that for 14 months during COVID, which was an additional challenge. And I travel whenever I can. I love it. I love learning about new cultures, different places, meeting different people from all over the world, and just
now's the time to do it when you're young. See,
right.
I so many times are watching you guys travel the globe, and I can't do that. I have kids, I have a job, but that time sort of passed me by until I get to retirement.
Right,
but
you're close.
So many of you guys are taking advantage of that, which is so
Yeah.
awesome to see. You're really squeezing the orange and getting every drop out of it, which is really, really cool to see.
Yeah, I try.
How do you like leading classes as compared to being just a person in a class?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's very different. And I honestly did my teacher training in yoga, and I thought I would never teach. I wasn't, I think I wasn't confident enough, and I didn't think I could lead others through this. My mom actually convinced me, and I'm very grateful every day that
Your mom's
she
a very
did.
strong woman.
She is a very strong lady. And yeah, I was like, oh, I'll just do it. It will help me better my practice and deepen my own knowledge, but I won't ever teach. And now it's all I want to do. I think I was definitely meant to do this, and I have a gift to guide others, and I just find it very rewarding. I've helped people who have had hip replacements, have had injuries, have dealt with mental or different issues, and they've come to yoga. I've had women tell me that they've had debilitating back pain for years, and they've taken my class after a few weeks, and this is the first time in their life they haven't had back pain.
Wow, that's really powerful. That's what better feeling than to help others.
Right.
I actually sat through it. Be honest, I came here for a 3-minute photo op to do some yoga poses with Nicole, but she put me through a regular workout, and she is a great teacher. I mean, nothing fell off. I mean,
You survived.
I survived it, and a little curveball. It was a hot yoga session, so you are an excellent teacher. I
Thank
thoroughly
you.
enjoyed it. So, okay, let's go back to 12-year-old Nicole.
Yeah.
Okay, 15, 11. What do you remember about middle school?
What do I remember about middle school?
Besides my yelling, I yelled a lot. See, I think because of the way you were brought up, your dad and mom are pretty gruff and salty.
Yeah, I grew up very blue collar,
Blue collar, so my methods didn't shock you as much as some of the other girls.
No, definitely not.
I used to say, just turn down the volume and listen to what I'm saying.
Right,
But,
you always had a good message. It was just louder, but that's okay. Yeah, I mean, middle school was tough for me. I think middle school girls can be tough, and that's real. But I always loved school, and I loved really playing sports, and that was a big outlet for me, movement, athletics in general. But yeah, I think middle school, there's a lot of change, right? You're kind of trying to find yourself, trying to figure out where you fit in, and really trying to just figure out your path.
Especially with our school, 7 through 12 school.
Right.
You are thrust, you're sitting next to a kid, 11th grader, who's, at the clinic the night before, and
Right.
You're watching SpongeBob in the morning.
Exactly.
So it could be challenging at times. Was
Yeah.
there a particular teacher or adult who made an impact on you at that time that you remember?
I was really close with my first and fourth grade teacher for a while, so that's kind of elementary school, who really made an impact on me and who I loved. I would say in high school, middle school, Miss Sutton was my guidance counselor.
Yeah, she's cool.
And she really, she has my heart.
I see a little of
I
you
love her.
in Miss Sutton. You have a little Sutton quality, see a little.
I take that as a big compliment.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
She's one of my favorites, and she has a
Mine too.
well-deserved retirement ahead of her. So
Yes.
I'm right on her coattails. Now, are there any qualities that you had as a middle schooler that have helped you as an adult?
Yeah, I think, I was always very competitive, again, playing sports and kind of, that drive to be successful, to go after what I want. That's something even when I moved to Berlin, Germany, everyone thought I was crazy. What are you doing? I'm moving to another country. But I don't know, I felt it, I believed in it, and I wanted to go for it. So I think that's a big thing. But I think more importantly, I've always been a very sensitive girl, from probably what you remember in middle school as well.
Well, I remember, not kid gloves, but you couldn't take the screaming as well as some other. You wanted to do so. You got upset if you.
Right. I was a very sensitive.
I want to please
yes.
the coach.
Yes.
If I don't, he's mad at me. But
right.
That's not the way it was. I've changed completely as a coach. It's not even funny. If I spoke to kids today the way I did back then.
That's fair.
It's a different animal. It's a different world.
Well, it's a different journey. You're in a different place now too, and I think that's important. But yeah, I think middle school, or just qualities in general, again, always been sensitive and empathetic, and I think that's something, especially as a yoga teacher, to guide individuals through something that can be vulnerable is very important to me. And I think I always viewed my sensitivity as a weakness, and now I realize it's a superpower.
Huge strength, yeah.
Yeah.
Gary V, I don't know if you follow Gary
I know
V
who he is, yeah.
When he first came onto the scene, his big thing was, you got to outwork the person, be more competitive. And it was basically, it almost made you feel guilty if you weren't working 8 hours a day on your side hustle. And then, you're not working hard enough. And then his outlook changed. I think as he became a father and softened a little bit, it's not that. It's like, you got to be happy in your own skin.
Right.
So, if you're not happy with yourself, all the other stuff none of it matters.
Right.
So the journey you're on and the way you're helping people, like, teaching is a good thing, but yoga, you're serving other people too, and unlocking doors to them that they probably didn't even know were open.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so now we're gonna go to Nicole the Sage, the wise Nicole. Okay. So, what do you tell a 12-year-old girl who doesn't feel connected to anything now?
Right. I think especially if I could tell myself, like, it gets so much better. It really just, it gets better. And I just wish for me I wasn't so hard on myself and wasn't so critical. I think we can be our own worst enemy in many ways. I've been told that if I had a nickel for every time I was told that, I would...
Yeah. I still battle that voice inside.
Right, and I think we're human.
Yeah.
I think everyone does to an extent, right? But I think just being kinder to ourselves in general is a big thing, and just realizing that it's also not that serious. I think sometimes I took life or middle school or so serious, and you had to succeed and you had to do all this, and like, if we're not happy...
I remember when I first started teaching you guys,
yeah,
I really thought my job was to prepare you for the outside world. So my job was not to be easy, was to be hard.
right,
If I could be hard on you and you can get through me, that'll be okay. So I really took it as a personal challenge. So like, if a kid didn't do their homework, and I learned over the years that there are circumstances going on that I didn't know about.
right,
It wasn't like, screw you, I'm not doing my homework.
Right.
It was like, I don't have paper in my house.
Yeah.
And my dad's drunk and I don't want to ask him for a pen.
exactly,
So I learned all that stuff. And the way I learned it was through Facebook. I friended all these ex-students of mine to sell them houses when I got my real estate license. Greedily. When they're in their 30s, they're going to buy houses from me.
right,
But then I, see, oh my God, this one became that, this one became that. They all figure it out.
yeah,
And then I was like, holy crap, all the standing on my head, threatening, and if you can't, if you can't do homework in 7th grade, what are you going to do in the real world?
Right.
If you can't, come to practice, how are you going to feed your kids? And
Yeah.
I was like, I used to try to put that fear into these kids, and I realized they do all figure it out, and it's all at different paces and different movements, and like you said, nothing's linear.
right.
So we all do figure it out.
It's very true. Yeah.
So, what are your goals? Let's get them out in the universe now.
Yeah, my goal is to open my own yoga studio. I have a specific kind of idea and business plan for that. I want to offer individuals a space that, to your point, maybe people don't have a home space where they can decompress and relax.
Yeah.
So really a third place, especially in urban areas or in New York, where maybe individuals don't have a backyard. I think the connection to nature is really important.
Yeah, that's why it's really cool doing it out.
Yeah, it's beautiful out here, right?
Yeah.
So I would like to, and I'm practicing saying that, I'm going to open my own studio.
I believe it.
That, thank you, I do as well, that offers individuals a space to reconnect to themselves, reconnect to their breath, their body, through yoga, through breath work, but also reconnect to nature.
Okay. Yeah, if you're not connected to yourself, you're not going to be much use to
Right.
anybody else out there.
Right.
So.
You only can meet others as deep as you meet yourself. So.
Wow. You can only meet others as deep as you meet yourself?
Yeah.
That will be a 1511 quote. That's awesome.
Love it. You should be sponsored by Hennigan at this point.
A toast to Nicole. Well, I survived yoga with Nicole. Barely. My balance might need work, but my heart is full. Watching one of my former players grow into a leader, a teacher, and a role model is what Back to Class is all about. Nicole's not just guiding poses, she's showing little girls, and all of us, that strength comes in many forms. And today, she reminded me that sometimes the teacher's most important role is knowing when to step aside and become the student. If this conversation inspired you, share it with someone who could use a laugh or a little balance in their life. And don't forget, class may end, but the learning never does. Until next time, thanks for joining us in this classroom without walls. Please like, subscribe, or share on Apple and YouTube. Ciao for now.